Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with my good friend, the lumberjack landlord. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome, Mike. Super excited to cover these topics because they are quite important.
Yeah, so I think it was last Tuesday. I was surprised, you were not, about the new eviction moratorium that was released. So I thought I would ask you questions about three things going on in the world. I don't know what you want to call them, stimulus or delays or whatever, just to see where your head's at, because we might disagree, which is always pretty cool. So let's talk about the unemployment goose up at the federal level. As you know, I think it's September 6th that is now ending across the country. As we have shared on this channel many times, I think it's 24, it might be 25 states ended it early. But I want to ask you about the Fed level. Do you think we extend the $300 weekly goose up at the Fed level at more than September 6th? That is Labor Day, I believe.
I think we do, and I think it's wrong.
So, wow. Yeah.
Let the hate mail rain.
Yeah. So I guess I guess I agree and agree, actually. So yes, I think the powers that be have learned that, or some of the powers have learned, if they hold their breath long enough, that will cause a reaction. And I think they're going to be pointing at what's going on in the world. So yeah, I think it gets extended past September. I don't know. They don't seem to do thing in months. So maybe it's to December, and then it's
quarters. It's December, and then everyone's going to be needing to put together their Hanukkah gift packages and their Christmas gift packages, and they're going to extend it again.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the reason, the justification for another extension. And I think, again, at its core, Mike, the reason why, and if you look at the videos that we talked about, when we talked about jobs in July, I said I expected to be a million number, even though consistently it had been way below that.
You're right.
500, 600, consistently way below. And why did I believe that? Because 20 some odd states had the balls to say, we have to get back to work, guys. We have to get back to work.
Yeah.
And guess what? Those states all had massive growth. Those states are back. The economy's humming again. And yeah, I get it. So I think that, if they extend it again in September, it's another kick the can down the road. The reason why these numbers are so tepid when it comes to people getting back in the workforce is because there's 9 million available jobs.
I'm sorry. It's 10 million now. We have crossed the 10 million threshold. First time ever.
Yeah, 10 million. 10 million jobs. Thank you for the correction. 10 million. 10 million. You have 10 million opportunities to go out and be part of our engine. And if you're choosing not to, and I'm not saying that there's no one that needs to be on the assistance. Right. I'm not saying that. But there are far more people taking advantage than aren't. And the fact of the matter is that, if we want everyone to do their fair share and everyone to pay their fair share, get your ass in a job and help get this engine going, because having to account for people that aren't productive and aren't doing anything is going to be the biggest drag on our economy because we're paying them to not be productive.
Yeah. All right.
Hate mail is going to come so hard and fast.
Remember, folks, that's the lumberjack landlord, the lumberjack landlord, the lumberjack. Yes. All right. So that's the first one. I love the passion. I always appreciate it. How about student loans? I believe they were just, was it December? It might December or January. Let's call it January. I don't remember if December or January. But again, student loan payments have been postponed again. Do you think that continues on? And since we're talking student loans, do you think they actually forgive $50,000 in student loans here in the near future?
Yes. I mean, I think this is yes. Oh yeah. Wow. Mike, it's a debt-a-palooza. It's a debt-a-palooza. We give stuff away. We make stuff to give it away. Like, do you remember the stories back in, what was it? Like, I want to say it was like mid 2000s. Do you remember the stories? Because this was something that was so huge. It was China literally delivering thousands of washers and dryers to towns and buildings that had no people in them.
Oh yeah. I actually have spent time in China, and I've seen a couple of buildings that they just skin. There's actually nothing inside.
Nothing. And so it's pumping. It's complete manipulation. And so no matter which side of the aisle that you're on, I really don't care. But the fact of the matter is that anytime that you're haphazardly forgiving debt, canceling debt. Like, when is a contract worth nothing anymore? Like that they're starting to make a contract worth nothing. And I think that I have no problem. I think whatever debt I run up, I've had to pay, just the way it goes. And that's life. And you know what? That's what makes the world go round. You can have a consumer-based economy, and that's fine. And you want that free market, but you do actually have to pay your debt. You do actually have to pay it off. You do actually have to pay the money.
Yeah. And
So,
again, you say
I
this
hate
is
nail
somebody you were saying, and again, you say all of that as someone who stared bankruptcy in the face a couple of times.
Yes. It was not a pleasant feeling. It was horrible. I didn't sleep for months, but I still worked every single day, did everything I possibly could to make a buck legally. And, and did everything I possibly could to stay in the game. Like, that's what it was. And so there's so many people taking advantage of these processes. And I think, it'd be another thing if they were doing something good with the money. Like, it's the same thing. I have no problem paying more in taxes if the government can prove to me that they actually don't spend it like a bunch of jackasses.
Yeah. Okay. Student loans. Well, let's go back to evictions. So I guess first question is, how do I want to do this first? I guess we'll talk about, do you think the eviction moratorium, the one that is scheduled to end October 3rd, do you think there's a Supreme Court ruling between now and then that rules it null and void? I guess that's question one.
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. So if that happens, stops, over, can't do it. So if you believe that, then you also believe that it won't be extended past October 3rd because it'll just go away. Is that
so I believe that the Supreme Court will get involved.
Yep.
I believe that they will somehow find a way to strike it down.
Okay.
So Mike, what was really funny was we did our video, right?
Yep.
Went through the 19 pages.
Yep.
And what did we find in those 19 pages? We're like, what is all this data, right?
Yeah,
what is
exactly.
all this data?
What does this mean?
And boom, there you go. Then it comes out and it's like, that's the justification, right?
1944. Yep.
Yep. So here's what I believe will happen. I believe that the Supreme Court will rule. I believe that they will strike it down. And I believe that then Congress will pass something.
Interesting. Okay. So because that's where the Supreme Court is basically the CDC has never been given authority to do what they're doing. So you're saying Supreme Court kills it, then Congress gets involved. They say it's allowed, and then they do it again, is what I hear you say.
Yep.
Oh, joy.
Yep. I think I think that the Supreme Court strikes it. I think that they basically tell them, don't do this again. And then I think that they spend the next 30 days figuring out, or they're probably already drafting it now because they recognize that what Are you good?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
We got a gremlin.
Oh,
darn it. We did so good on the first one.
It was so good.
All right.
So I think Supreme Court shuts it down. I think that they're already working on a document based on the Supreme Court shutting it down. I think the Dems are already working on that. And I think that when the Supreme Court strikes that down, I think you will see within days, you will see the next thing put into place by the Dems. and I think that, and in that particular case, the Supreme Court will then have to rule, or they won't be able to really rule on that. I mean, that's going to then have to be something that gets challenged, officially challenged in the courts, I believe, with how it gets structured. Or then you'll have to have somebody else, recommend something against it. So yeah, I just.
So you see a lot more just give.
Yep.
Oh, joy.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, the midterm elections, folks, are important. They're, what are they, like 15 months away? 14 months away?
14 months and 23 days, Mike. But
not that we're counting. Oh, that is hilarious. Well, I got a really cool topic for number 3. So we're going to jump to that one. How can people find you? And again, announce what's going on Sunday.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Lumberjacklandlord.com, Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube. And we are going to be live streaming, everybody. Live streaming. So if you sent me a question, I've ever answered a question or comment for you, please show up. And it's 11 a.m. on Sunday, this coming Sunday. We are going to be doing that live streaming right there on YouTube. And so if you're subscribed, you'll get notified. And if you aren't, I'll cover what I said in the first video. What the hell? So
Yeah. And
thanks,
again,
Mike.
that's 11 a.m. Eastern, just so there's
Yes,
no
11 a.m.
confusion.
Eastern. Thank you, Mike. Yes.
All right, buddy. Thanks again.
Thanks, Mike.